Welcome to this Teaching with Quarkus video, brought to you by the Center for Teaching Support and Innovation. In this video we will discuss moving online, synchronous and asynchronous lecture options. Specifically in this video, we'll discuss which modality is right for my lecture and content sharing needs. We'll discuss asynchronous lecture and content sharing options, as well as synchronous lecture and content sharing options. When moving from face-to-face online on a short timeline, remember to focus on the essential learning outcomes for the rest of your course. Sharing your lecture and lecture content is likely to be your first step in meeting your course outcomes. When deciding to lecture and share content live or not, consider such factors as your class size, your required instructor-to-student interaction, your required student-to-student interaction, the necessity to schedule class at a specific time, as well as your comfort with webinar or recording tools generally. When deciding whether to go asynchronous or synchronous, this slide sums up some of the big deciding factors. To go asynchronous, it may be good if your knowledge transfer or the demonstration of a lesson or lab is primary. Asynchronous is a good option if content can be shared in smaller chunks. It's useful if you have a large class size. Over 50 is a pretty large class for a synchronous session. And asynchronous is also useful if your content or delivery isn't time sensitive, if students can watch anytime and they can watch it anywhere. Going synchronous or live is important perhaps if class discussion or class participation is primary to your lecture, or perhaps if content requires longer exposition or explanation where student feedback is more important. A class size that's smaller, under 50, is manageable with a live session. And perhaps if it's time sensitive, if students must join at a given time, maybe an office hour or a question and answer period, you might go synchronous. If asynchronous is your option, you can create a recording of your lecture and share that recording with your class in Quarkus. TechSmith Snagit is the institutional lecture recording solution. It's free to those in the U of T community. You can record anything on your screen. You can capture voice-over narration, and the recording is saved to your computer. So this is useful if you want to record your screen while you speak to your lecture slides to give to your students. Although not supported at University of Toronto, you may also be comfortable using solutions on your personal computer. These have the same benefits as Snagit. These include things like QuickTime Video, which is available on Macs, or you can record voice over PowerPoint, both on Mac and PC. You can follow the links for more. Some asynchronous tips and strategies. Keep content compact. Consider 10-minute video lecturettes in place of one lecture. You don't need to lecture necessarily for 40 minutes or 50 minutes. If you can, consider breaking up 10-minute videos to give that full lecture experience to your students. Test a sample before doing the whole recording. Make sure your audio levels are correct. And be comfortable with making small mistakes. Students will understand a few ums and ahs and maybe if you talk over a few pieces. And talk at a comfortable pace. Students can re-watch if need be. You don't need to talk more slow or more quickly. If a synchronous option is more useful, you might consider that if you need to host a live session of your class using a webinar solution, or maybe host a live office hour or small group meeting using video conferencing. Blackboard Collaborate is a webinar tool integrated directly into Quarkus. This is available in every course. You can share anything on your screen and access a whiteboard. You can capture live video and audio, and you can allow for chat and group work. Everything you do can also be recorded and shared back for the class. This is a great tool if you need to hold a live class during a scheduled lecture time. Microsoft Teams Video is a video conferencing tool at U of T. This is available to faculty and staff through Office 365. Students and external users can participate and watch these. You can capture live video and audio, and you can allow for chat. You can also allow for a screen sharing. This is important if you want to hold an office hour or small group meeting. Some tips and strategies for synchronous include: consider support to monitor chat in larger class sessions. Maybe a TA can help you do this if possible. You can ensure quality internet connectivity. It's important to have good internet for running a live session. Consider using a headset and microphone if you're talking live with students. Encourage all to log into a session early to test their connectivity so you don't have time with students coming in and out or needing to figure out how things work. Having people join early the first session is very useful. And for yourself, you might hold a quick practice session with a colleague. For more support, you can visit Quorka Support Resources, your divisional support site. Your questions can go to q.help@utoronto.ca, and there is a continuity planning and online learning site on the CTSI website.